For this problem, we are given a confidence level and values of x and n, and we're asked to find first the point estimate, and the point estimate is the x value over the n value. So in this case, that would be 46 over 95, and when you put that in your calculator to get a decimal, that turns out to be 0.4842. So that's your answer for part A, or part 1. And in part 2, we want to find the standard error. And because we're working with a proportion, our standard error is the square root of the quantity p times 1 minus p over n. So p is our point estimate, and that should really have a hat on it. And sometimes they put it in and sometimes they don't. I'm not really quite sure why they do that. So our value of p, I'm going to put in the fraction rather than the decimal because the decimal is rounded. So I'm going to go with 46 divided by 95 times 1 minus 46 divided by 95. Then we take that whole thing and divide it by the 95 again and take the square root of that whole enchilada. And so what I get, rounded to 4 decimal places, is 0.0513. That's the answer to part 2. Now we want to find the margin of error. So in order to find this, in the instructions they tell you to use the table to find a critical value and then do a particular computation. And what you can do, you don't really need to do that. What you can do is find the confidence interval using one prop z interval on your calculator. So I'm going to start with that. So for one prop z interval, what do we have to enter? First of all, to get to one prop z interval, what I'll do is I'll press the stat key, and then I press the left arrow one time. Okay, so left arrow once, and this takes us to the tests menu. Okay, so we're in tests, and what we're going to do is scroll down until we see one prop z interval. Now make sure you do one prop z interval and not one prop z test, because you'll be really confused as to what questions they're asking you. We'll be doing that in the next unit, actually. All right, so I have one prop z interval, and now the values that they prompt me for are x, which we already know is 46, n, which is 95, and C level. Now C level is your confidence level. For this problem, it's 98%. So we just put in, make that a proper 8. So we just put in a 98. Now you can put in 98 or you can put in 0.98. And the calculator understands that they both mean 98%. So it's a little strange, but it works. All right, so what am I going to do here? So I type that in and I press enter, and I get my confidence interval, which is 0.36493, comma 0.60349. Okay, so I've got my confidence interval. Now, second step of this process is to subtract the point estimate from the upper limit of the confidence interval. So I'll take that upper limit, and this is going to be my margin of error now. So that's the upper limit, 0.60349, minus the point estimate, which was 0.5 0.4842. And this gives me 0.11929, but the computer wants it rounded to 4 places, so I make it 0.1193, and that is my final answer.